Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for the opportunity to be here with you. I'm really so excited about the work that everyone here is putting forward to give women's health the attention it needs. It's a particular passion of mine. I've worked in Silicon Valley for over 30 years. I've been working in healthcare for 8 years. I joined Bone Health Technologies about 4 years ago after selling my last company, which was a software startup to Apple. And when I saw what the company was doing, my first thought was, oh my God, this is such a big problem. And it's a problem that I have. I have osteopenia. And I was very personally familiar with the fact that there are really very limited solutions. And so, that brings me to, I think one of the most, if I get nothing else across, what I want to make sure that I share is that this is an important problem. It's a big problem. Over 60 million Americans have low bone density. This is as common a problem as high cholesterol, high blood pressure, high blood sugar. It's one of the major chronic conditions. But unlike those other conditions, we've made almost no progress. We've, in the last 50 years, had no change in the death rate from hip fractures, minimal change in the rate of fractures. And this is such a huge problem for women. Half of all women will fracture in their lifetime due to low bone density, and those fractures can be deadly and debilitating. The average American woman develops osteopenia in her 50s and then osteoporosis about 10 years later. And while we think a lot about osteoporosis because it's the highest risk, more than half of all fractures happen in women with osteopenia. Next slide, please. And despite the fact that there are so many fractures in osteopenia, until OsteoBoost, there were no FDA-approved treatments for osteopenia. The pharmacological solutions are generally only indicated for osteoporosis, not osteopenia. And they're very poorly adopted due to the serious side effects that exist. And in any event, they're not treatments that can be used. There's no equivalent to a statin that you take early and use indefinitely to improve bone density. And the lifestyle and sort of supplements, so things like calcium and vitamin D, exercise, it's very helpful. It's important to do these things, but they're not enough. And women will continue typically to lose bone density, even if they're doing those lifestyle interventions. Next, please. And so we're really excited to bring this new solution to market. OsteoBoost is based on NASA research and astronauts. Astronauts lose bone density in space. And NASA's proved that you could improve bone density with whole body vibration platforms. But, down on Earth with regular people, it was very difficult to get good compliance, proper utilization, and none of those devices were able to get an FDA approval. So our inventor, who is a physical medicine and pain doctor, had the idea of putting this vibration in a belt, which gives you two important benefits. One is it's easy to wear a belt and incorporate it into your daily living. And second, the vibration is applied directly to the vulnerable anatomy, the hips and lumbar spine. We had excellent results in our clinical trial, which I'll share in a minute. But based on the successful clinical trial, we were able to get an FDA de novo approval. In the history of the FDA, there have been only 16 de novo approvals in the orthopedics world, none for low bone density, and we got a de novo approval. We're also a breakthrough device based on the unmet need. Next slide. We are not just a standalone device. The device is critical and gives you that therapeutic benefit, but we are providing a comprehensive solution of exercise, nutrition, activity monitoring, because doing those lifestyle interventions is necessary as well. It's just they're not sufficient. And there's no one else really providing a comprehensive solution for low bone density. And we're excited to be bringing this to this important market and unmet need. Next slide. So what did we show in the clinical trial? In a gold standard randomized sham control trial, our baseline and 12-month measurements were based on CT scans, so highly accurate, highly objective. We reduced the loss of bone strength and bone density by well over 80% with just outstanding p-values. And so this is really a home run where for the first time, we have a non-pharmacological therapy that has been proven to improve bone health. Next slide. Now is the time. Of course, low bone density has been important for a long time, but this is the time where I think we can really make this into a very successful business and bring this to a lot of people. This demographic of women is interested in healthcare. They focus on their health. They're looking for well-researched non-pharmacological solutions. And this has been demonstrated in us having a waiting list of over 10,000 highly engaged patients and caregivers who are interested in our product. Next. And it's not just the patients. We have over 1,000 physicians who've requested prescribing capabilities, and we've been recognized by the top scientific organizations. The American Society of Bone and Mineral Research, the Endocrine Society, have all asked us to present at their conferences. Our clinical trial manuscript is being published or has been accepted for publication in the Journal of Bone and Mineral Research. Next slide. Now, I talked about the tens of millions of patients with low bone density, and we are launching with the self-pay option, but we want to make this available for everyone and not have barriers to care. And so we have prioritized having a strong reimbursement pathway. There are existing codes from Medicare where we can bring this to market using remote therapeutic monitoring. And it's good for the patients. They get a bone health program, and we have strong gross margins for the company doing that. And then we are also applying for HCPCS coverage and DME so that patients can get it standalone. Next slide. Our vision is very bold. We want to solve the problem of bone health for patients everywhere. We're starting with postmenopausal women with osteopenia, the largest group with an unmet need, but we're bringing this to men, to osteoporosis, to other parts of the body, to patients who have low bone density due to other health conditions. As well as, a wellness device in the future. Next slide. So I hope you'll join us on this journey. It's an important mission. It's a place where we're sorely lacking in solutions. I think I forgot to mention there are actually no pharmaceutical products in trial right now. So, it's really important that companies that care about women's health are working on this problem. We have an effective solution. It's unique. Patients like it, and I think it's something that we can scale. And we're looking to partner with health systems, menopause and other women's health provider groups, clinicians, and we will be raising a commercialization and scaling round next year. And I will be available in the networking section and look forward to speaking with everyone.
Laura, thank you so much. I believe our first question will be from Courtney.
Hi, Laura. It's really nice to meet you. I know Priya well, who I know you're working with. So it's great to see you here. I wanted to just pick up on something you said at the very end, which is patients love it. You look at it looks a little clunky. I'm imagining what it's like to have something vibrating the base of my spine. Like what feedback did you get during the trials around how it felt and how, what was adherence like? And can you predict, what you think adherence will look like, not in the context of a trial where people are being compensated to kind of stick with it?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's a critical question because this is a chronic condition and people need to want to use it indefinitely. Thank you for mentioning Priya. I did mention the exercise program. Well, that didn't come up by magic. We acquired a wonderful women's health company led by Priya Patel called Wellen, and we've been teaming up and we've integrated that into our solution. But how does the product feel? Most patients say it feels like a massage. So that's the most common description. They say it feels good. It weighs less than 5 pounds, and you need to wear it 30 minutes a day. So most patients find it pretty easy to use. Compliance in the trial was over 80%. And we asked them to use it 5 times a week. The average in the trial was over 4. I want to mention that compensation in our trial was minimal. They basically got, transportation expenses and $50 for showing up for visits. So there was really
interesting.
Significant monetary advantage. We had a waiting list of patients who wanted to be in the trial, and I think it just comes back to this unmet need. People are diagnosed with low bone density, and I'll share what happened with me between 52 and 57. I lost 13% of my bone density in my lumbar spine. I take calcium, I exercise a lot. And my doctor said, keep exercising, keep taking your calcium. And it's essentially saying, keep doing what doesn't work or what doesn't work well enough. I probably would have lost more without those things. And so women are really motivated. They know what happened to their grandmothers and mothers who ended up, hunched over or frail. And they don't want that to happen to them. So the app, I think, will be very important for compliance. We did see in the trial that there was a dose response for each additional time per week they used the device, they had a 0.5% better improvement in their bone density. So we really get that, that strong compliance. I don't know if you're a James Clear fan, but he has this concept of habit stacking, right? Where you combine a new habit with an existing positive habit. And so that's what we try to get patients to do. So if they, go walk the dog every day, wear the belt while you walk the dog. And, we've designed it to look kind of like a fanny pack. It even has a similar fabric to that Lululemon crossbody bag. If it's when you can't argue with success, right? If it's when you do the dishes, then that's fine. So we just try to get patients to find something that works for them.
And just, sorry, quick follow-up. Is it a forever thing? Like this is what you need to do forever? Yeah.
Yes. Just like exercising and
just like
eating
exercise.
healthy,
Yeah, makes sense. Yep.
And by the way, we want people to exercise too, right? But this gives you that added boost to the vulnerable anatomy.